Good morning everyone, Chris Fawcett from the Headache and Pain Management Centre here. It's a pleasure to be here today talking about something that I really like, which is low back pain. So even though we're the Headache and Pain Management Centre, there are two aspects to our business. One is headache and the other is pain management, and today we're talking about low back treatment. So low back pain, it's a mystery to a lot of people. It's chronic, it's non-specific and sometimes can have a lack of a diagnosis. It can have many confusing scans, you can have a lot of different journeys about how you can treat it. But certainly what we've been able to do here at the Headache and Pain Management Centre is to come up with a way to just cut through all of that and get to the bottom of it and sort of rectify what it is that we need to address. So there are two main muscles when it comes to low back pain which are the most, shall I say, important when it comes to the treatment of it. And it's a little bit interactive here. We've got the whiteboard out with some really dodgy pictures on it in a minute that we'll show you. But basically there are two main sets of muscles which are the main issues, okay? So the first one is the iliopsoas muscle. So I can actually see it here on the poster. So it's actually just up there. So you can see where it is there, okay? It attaches to T12, 1, 2, 3, 4 and crosses the centre of gravity into the front of the hip. Okay, so what the centre of gravity is, it's your halfway point through your body. Now that is the only muscle that crosses the centre of gravity. So what that means is that it's the only muscle that can bend you forward and keep you there. So with, for example, people getting up out of bed in the morning that are really difficult to stand up, it's pretty stiff. Typically psoas is the one that's the cause there. So if you're stiff and feeling tight in the morning, typically it's that iliopsoas muscle which is the one that's drawing you forward. The second muscle group, which is the most important, are the multifidus muscles. Now, we're going to have a look here. I'll see if I can rotate the phone. Maybe I can't. I'll have to come around this way. So what we've got here is my whiteboard, which is really shonky kind of drawing, but we'll get there. There we go. So what we've got here is basically a picture of what's happening on the whiteboard when we take a cross section. So you've got the psoas at the front, and you've got the muscles which are called multifidus, which are at the back. Now, what is really certain almost in the literature is that when you have a muscle which is an issue in the lower back, if you've got low back pain, is that multifidus muscle which gets much smaller. So what that means is that if you've got a tight muscle at the front, which is psoas, and a weak muscle at the back, which is multifidus, what happens is that basically you have this sort of phenomenon where you're bent forward all the time, you can't stand up straight, it just feels like you're really stiff and you've got no freedom of movement. So what that means effectively is that all the other muscles that you might hear about, like your glutes, like your hamstrings, the muscles up the middle of your back, like between your shoulder blades, can get tight and sore as well. Effectively, where we go from here to treat it is that we need to get psoas nice and loose, and we've got some really gentle techniques that can get that right, using a few things that you probably haven't seen before, and also the jewel in the crown to strengthen multifidus, which we'll show you now, if those who haven't seen it before. So there it is just behind me there, which is called the Med-X machine. So what the Med-X machine does, it stabilises you. It's a big weights machine for your back. It's extremely safe, and in a video later on this week we might actually strap in one of our other staff members to show you how that works, because it's really effective and it's the missing link for most people's low back pain treatment, which we'll come to again later on in another video. Look, I hope that's been helpful for you. There's a bit more information coming over the next couple of weeks regarding low back pain. If you're interested in what we've just been talking about, I've got a resource which we can send to you via Facebook Messenger. Just type in low back pain into the comments below and we'll be able to send you along a little bit of that information about the Med-X machine, and also a few more information about the psoas as well and how we might be able to help. Look, thanks for joining us, and I hope it's been a really good day for you, and it continues to be a good day even with this miserable Brisbane weather that we've got today. We'll talk again soon later in the week, and yeah, anything you need, low back pain in the comments, like, share, you know the drill. Thanks very much and talk to you soon. Bye bye.